Awesome. Well, welcome to the call. It's January the 4th. It's about 7:30 here in Houston. And I know Julie Felcher is calling in from New Jersey up in the northeast part of the US. We got people I know from all over North America, at least that I'm noticing. So, if you've got the chat available, just type in where you're calling in from, because that's always cool to see, just what city, what state, province, whatever. That's always cool. And then if you've been doing this type of a program for a little while, it's always great to see the results that people have been getting. Hey, Leah, always been great to see the results that people are getting. So just type in, hey, I've been doing this low carb, high fat thing, the keto, healthy keto, whatever you want to call it, for whatever months, years, whatever. And we're going to be talking about some nutritional products that Julie and I use, and I know a lot of people here use, called isogenics, and I think they're just phenomenal. I've been using them for over 12 years now, and I think they're just the highest quality, most effective, affordable products that I could find as a performance coach, and I've been doing that for 28 years. So I'll quickly do my little spiel on who I am so you have an idea of that and why it matters, and then I'm going to pass it off to Julie, and we're going to run through in half an hour here why we're excited about what this program has been doing for so many different people. So first of all, my name is Steve Bentley. I'm an Ironman performance coach, and I've been doing that since 1990. If you don't know what an Ironman is, it's a triathlon. It's about a 2.5-mile swim, 112-mile bike ride, and a 26-mile run. So it's a long day at the office. So I've raced in a bunch of those. I raced in the Hawaii Ironman World Championships a couple of times, qualified dozens of people to the World Championships in Hawaii, and I've had athletes win the World Championships from distances from Olympic distance to long course and triathlon, coached people to over 1,400 Ironman events over the last 28 years. So I've got a lot of background in coaching athletes, especially endurance athletes, and I've been getting people into ketosis and helping them fuel their body through fat and ketones for an awfully long time. Hey, I still love carbohydrates. Don't get me wrong, I am not a health freak. I just had some strawberry pie and some Chardonnay with my dinner tonight, right? I am not a health freak. I'm just super healthy because I put the right things into my body that are really effective and give me what I'm looking for. So we're going to talk a little bit about the system that we've been using. I'm going to pass it off to Julie in a second. The system that we've been using has been helping an awful lot of people. So as I mentioned, a lot of my athletes over the years have been experiencing amazing results accessing fat for fuel. And even if you're not an elite athlete or a performance athlete or somebody who trains regularly, I want you to think about it being really important to become athletic in the way you fuel your body, because you want to fuel your body like you're an expensive sports car, right? You don't want to put the crap fuel into your body. Just like you don't want to invite, some stranger that you don't know into your house when your kids are at home alone and you're going out. That's what people are doing all the time when they put garbage in their system. They're just letting this stuff come into their body, into their house, and it is running amok and destroying people's lives because you're not thinking about what you're putting in your system. It's so important to guard that with your life because you are completely responsible for what you put in your mouth. You and nobody else. So anyways, if you've been in any calls with me or any groups, or you've been an athlete of mine, that's kind of the way I talk. So don't apologize for it. It's just who I am. So I'm going to pull Julie out. Julie, take yourself off mute. Tell us a little bit about you, because I am just so passionate about working with you and being able to help so many people with the system that we've got and how well it's been working. And we're going to talk about some results and show some results and go over what this is and what it isn't, who it's for, and why it's so effective and how to get started, because it's just so exciting to be able to help people with such a phenomenally effective program. But tell us about your background and why you're excited to be here as well.
Oh gosh, you guys, I am so excited to be here, and I love seeing all you. I've been watching some of you as the group has been opening up, so you actually hear as real live moving people is really awesome. So my name's Julie. I live in New Jersey, and my journey to wellness or fitness, nutrition really came from a place of me struggling in my own my own body. You know, I was a chronic dieter probably since the time I was 10 or 11 years old, and went up and down that roller coaster so many times that I think I was an expert at dieting. So I figured if I was going to be an expert at dieting, maybe I could make a career out of it. So, not really, but I found fitness, and really, really found a place. Like I found my tribe when I found fitness, and I didn't find fitness. And this is interesting because how Stephen was just saying that, you know, he wants you to become athletic and how you fuel your body. I found fitness as an adult. I was never an athlete. I was never that, you know, I was always the one picked last for the team. And, but as an adult, I found fitness and marathon running with my husband and working out in the gym and moving heavy weight. And, I love that idea of becoming athletic and fueling your body for life, really. And when you hear people say performance nutrition or eat for performance for you, I mean, everybody has performance. Performance for somebody might look like playing on the beach with their grandchildren. For somebody else, it might look like doing a triathlon. For somebody else, it might look like playing tennis a few days a week. I mean, who knows? Performance could be just being able to walk up and down the stairs without being in pain or being winded. So we're all eating for our life performance, which is awesome. And for me personally, so my journey took me through becoming certified as a personal trainer, working as a CrossFit coach, I actually got certified to do CrossFit Kids, and I worked with some athletic teenagers. And then I got really into nutrition because I realized that the piece that was missing for so many people, what was happening outside of the gym. You know, people couldn't spend 24 hours with me. So I needed to help them figure that piece out. And I needed to help myself figure that piece out. So I got certified as a health coach, and then I went back to school for functional nutrition. And that's where I met my isogenics buddy, Patty. She's the one, I met her in nutrition school, and she'd been talking to me about it for a long, long time. And I was skeptical because I had a background, I had a reputation, I was in the industry, and I was like, oh, I don't want a thing, I don't want a gimmick. And I got really, really excited when I finally did decide to put these products in my body, and I just let my body tell me what it thought. And it thought really awesome things. I dropped 25 pounds really quickly, and that was 25 pounds of just inflammation and stress and being overworked and undernourished and all of those things, that toxicity that was just lingering and like being stuck in my body. I felt like $1,000,000. And so it wasn't long before I started to shift my entire nutrition practice over to this system of products, because I truly believe in it. And I believe that it's clean, it's well respected, it's well researched. And I got super, super excited. I've worked with some of the best functional nutrition doctors and nutritionists that there are. And I will tell you that this system is legit. So I'm not going to go into the whole science because we're going to try to keep this short because it is Friday night for you guys. And so then fast forward to a couple of months ago, Stephen and I have known each other for a little bit through our connection with this company. And fast forward to a couple of months ago, I see him post something on Facebook saying that he's going to be one of the coaches in this beta group. And I was like, oh, I'm curious about that. You know, they were talking about keto. They were talking about low carb, high healthy fats. And I was, you know, I'd always been a keto skeptic. And for the reason being that there wasn't enough vitamins and minerals. Like, people pull out all the vegetables and all the whole grains and they're eating meat and cheese. Like, that can't be healthy. So every time somebody mentioned it to me, I was like, no, I don't even want to learn about it. I don't want to know about it. It's like not my thing. But when Steven started talking about it, I was like, okay, if he's talking about it, I want to learn about it. I want to learn about it from him. So I just like blindly stepped into the group and let what happened happen. And so I lost 16 pounds. I just recently packed to go on a vacation that was a warm weather vacation, and it's cold here. So I haven't worn my warm weather stuff since like September. You guys, I couldn't bring any of my shorts with me. Every single pair of shorts that I had was literally dropping to the floor. I couldn't even put a belt on it and make it look good. It looked terrible. So I was wearing like yoga pants in Florida, because that's, you know, yoga pants can fit you at any size. So I can't tell you enough how excited I am about this I broke through a plateau that I'd been at for 2 years. And that plateau, originally was like, I was super excited because I'd lost all that weight and I was maintaining a weight loss. But then all of a sudden, maintaining a weight loss felt like being stuck at a plateau, and I didn't like that. So that's what this program has done for me. And I'm super, super excited to bust all kinds of plateaus and ceilings and old beliefs and all that any of you guys may have over the next upcoming month. So that's my jam.
That's awesome. I love that. It's a great story. Hey, and we're going to talk about more specifically about the program, but I think it's so important to hear where Julie's coming from or where I've come from, just because it's going to let you know what's possible for you and people that you know in terms of this program. So our normal 30-day program, if you're familiar with that, is phenomenal. It's great. It's got some amazing pillars. It's going to satisfy you nutritionally. It's going to cleanse your cells at a cellular level of impurities and toxins and inflammation. What we're talking about tonight, it's just going to take that to the next level. It's more intense. It's harder initially, right? You're going to drop your carbohydrates down quite significantly. For most people, they're really not aware of what they're actually putting in their mouth. Like, there's so much sugar and carbohydrates in food today, and it's hidden. And beyond that, there's so many chemicals in GMOs, for example, in carbohydrate-laden food that are hidden because you don't know they're there, because the laws are such that they don't have to label them. So one of the reasons the program works so well, we'll get into the results that you're going to likely see. One of the reasons it works so well is because you're pushing out a lot of the bad foods and making room for really high quality food. So there's 4 things that typically happen that make this program so effective. Number 1 is the high quality focus on macronutrients, right? Or the focus on high quality macronutrients. So we have a pure whey protein powder that we want people to use. It's an organic, grass-fed, contaminated, undenatured whey protein powder. We do have a dairy-free option, but I love whey protein. I'm not averse to having a dairy option, so I'm going to go hardcore into that, and I'm going to do a couple of shakes a day. That's going to give me probably half of my protein requirement for the day. And this protein is between 80 and 92% bioavailable in your system, whereas most foods, other than eggs, because eggs is pretty high, it's usually 55 to 65% bioavailable. Most meats are down around 30-40%. Most protein powders are 30 or 40%. This is a highly bioavailable, pure, undenatured whey protein concentrate, and it's phenomenal. And I love basing my nutrition around that. We're also going to focus on high quality, healthy fats. This is a low carb, high fat program where you're going to do 5 to 10% of your carbohydrates is going to make up your 5 to 10% of your caloric requirement for the day. Is going to come from carbs. We're going to focus on nutritionally dense carbohydrates like certain vegetables, no breads, pastas, rice, potatoes, things like that. Way too high in carbohydrates, way too low in nutrition. We're going to have a moderate amount of protein, about 20-25%. And then the fats are going to be about 70% of your intake, but focus on high quality. This is not just jamming back as much bacon and cream cheese as you can. We're going to be focusing on macadamia nuts, Brazil nuts, almonds, right? MCT oil, coconut oil, olive oil, avocado oil, some cheeses, and obviously some meat fats as well. So a bit of that, but not a huge amount. This is a clean, healthy keto program. The second thing that we're going to have you focus on is a great nutritional support. We've got a phenomenal multivitamin line, all whole food based, really great spectrum, and a great focus on minerals. And everybody is minerally deficient. And every enzyme in your body needs trace minerals for it to function effectively, whether it's you looking, you moving muscles, creating energy, digesting food. Any of that is going to happen through enzyme action. And if you're not getting enough trace minerals into your system, those enzymes don't function effectively. Think about all the processes that go on in your body that become better when you get those great minerals into your system. So if you've been on the program before, you know how much better you feel just on the normal program because of those trace minerals coming into your system. Like, look at the Cleanse for Life and the Ionic Supreme, for example, just chock full of all these great minerals. The Ionic Alfalfa that's in most of our products, it has roots that go down hundreds of feet to extract those minerals from the earth. So that's why it works so well. You want to get that stuff into your system. So we got the high quality macronutrient focus, the nutritional support. And like as Julie said earlier, we don't like keto because there's no focus on nutrition. How can you lower your carbohydrate intake to 5%? And that's where most of the nutrition is, and expect that you're going to get nutritional support. It's not going to happen. You have to supplement. You have to supplement with a normal diet. You really need to supplement if you're going to go keto and go really low carb. So we've got the nutritional support. We also have the cellular cleansing program that we use in conjunction with our intermittent fasting that we do a couple times through the program. That is phenomenal at shuttling out inflammation, but also getting rid of toxins and impurities in our system. So we want to do that. And if you all are on the call, because I can see a whole bunch of people here, if you all are on the call and you were in the previous program, you've done those cellular cleansing days, and then you did them again through the last beta test that we did. And if you found those other cleansing days easier as we went through this program, just stick your hand up, right? It was just so much easier, right? I just like, it's a no-brainer. I've been doing that way of cleansing for years. You just don't eat anything on a cleanse day because you don't need to. You're so supported nutritionally when you do it, and you break that tie by not eating anything. Your body stops looking for that next little hit of carbohydrate or fuel. It just says, okay, he's serious about this. Let's just go in and start burning up fat. And then number 4 is the coaching and the support. We take the uncertainty out of the equation for you, because so many times you start something new, you're not sure how you're supposed to feel. Is this normal? What do I do? What do I do about that? Is this the right choice that I need to take? That's the thing that really messes most people up. They think they need to be perfect. They don't know what to do, and they don't have the time to figure it out. So I'm going to pass it back to Julie, because I wanted to talk about the differences between what a normal keto program is in this thing. And I want her to talk a little bit now about who keto isn't for and who it is for. And, most of the people, so Julie, go through the who it isn't for first, and then jump into the who it is for, and who people are who are looking for different things. I got a huge list here, but I know you've got a bunch of things as well. So I'll throw it back to you.
Awesome. Thanks. And for those of you guys that were just like listening to every word that Stephen was just saying, I did put a little summary in the comments of the 4 pillars, so you guys can see that there. Who is this not for? I think that's a really awesome thing. I think so many times we are bombarded with marketing that says, this is for everybody. This is for you. This is for this is the best thing ever. Everyone should do it. This is not that. This is an amazing, amazing system, and it's an amazing community and amazing coaching if it's right for you. If it's not right for you, then it's going to feel, it's not going to be right for you, and it's not going to feel fun. It's going to feel hard. It's going to feel frustrating. And it may actually be not healthy. So who is it not for? I think for the first big one is not for somebody who has an eating disorder. So if you're somebody who has been, and I'm just saying that right off the top, because we are going to ask you to be very focused and very measured around what you're eating and how, and we're going to ask you to count and weigh and do all that stuff. And that can be triggering for somebody who has an eating disorder. So we're going to ask you, if you are being monitored or being you're under care for an eating disorder, or you have a history of eating disorder, that this maybe get back in touch with the person who shared this with you, and let's talk more about our regular nutrition plan, because it's awesome. The other person that it's not for is somebody who just wants to kind of do it on Monday through Friday, right? The Monday through Friday thing, the first 4 weeks are super important. And that's what we're going to start on January 14th. Those first 4 weeks are going to create a foundation for you, for your teaching your body how to use fat for energy, bring your awareness to the carbohydrates that you're eating. And it's all really super important for ultimately creating a lifestyle that you can fit into your life. And like Stephen said, eat strawberry pie every once in a while. So if for you, this first 4 weeks that is coming starting January 14th, if you're already thinking about, oh, so-and-so's wedding and this trip I'm going on and and you're trying to already imagine how you're gonna get around that, that's not for you. So I for example, in my first month of doing this, I went to a banquet on a cleanse day. I sat and I drank herbal tea at a banquet for my daughter's soccer banquet. I traveled twice. I brought my blender. One of them was a road trip. I brought my blender in the back of my car and was like, you know, if this is important to you, you will make it work. And that's the kind of people that we're looking for. If you have a medical condition, or if you're on some kind of medication that is going to be impacted by either increasing your dietary fat, and you should know that because your doctor would tell you that, either increasing your dietary fat or by, like, some people who are on thyroid meds, by dropping weight quickly. Thyroid meds are certain meds that are going to be need to be adjusted or monitored while you are dropping weight quickly, because the dosages might need to change. So what I would ask you to do in that situation is to, before you even start, contact your doctor and say, this is what I'm thinking about doing. I've been invited to participate in this thing, or I'm thinking I would like to do this, and I would like you to monitor me while I do this. So that's the recommendation that we have for anybody who's being monitored for any medical condition that is tied to your weight or tied to your macronutrient intake. And then who is it for? Like, for me personally, it's for anybody that has been stuck. If you've been stuck, this is amazing. This will break a plateau. This will bring awareness. This will change, like epically change things for you. If you're an endurance athlete, and Stephen can speak more to this, getting fat adapted is amazing for endurance athletes. If you're somebody who is like, just can't beat down that sugar dragon, that sugar monster is just like constantly on your shoulder, like cookies, this is going to be amazing for you. This is going to tame that, and it's going to bring that into play, into balance. Anybody who has kind of like candida, yeast overgrowth, that kind of stuff, I can't say that this is going to cure that for you, but it's gonna, that candida feasts on sugar in your body. So when we get rid of the sugar, that's often going to balance out for a lot of people. I don't know. Did I don't know. Anything else that I feel like I just like spewed a whole bunch.
Yeah, no, those are all great points. Like, I'm just thinking of the results people got before, like sleeping better, right? I just found I was just getting into a deeper sleep and just hanging out in that zone. I wasn't waking up as much as I normally did, and I slept well before, but this was like wicked. Yeah. Oftentimes people have a brain fog because of all that carbohydrates floating through their system. So this just creates a lot more mental clarity as you come through the program. The deeper you get into it and the more consistently you follow it, the better you're going to get. Inflammation goes away, and not just bloating and how you feel, but also joint issues too. A lot of people have discomfort and they start to feel a whole lot more mobile. I was a lady that I brought in just as we were starting the second round, and she's like, no, this is what I want. This is exactly what I want. Don't push me to the normal 30-day. I want this. And I'm like, okay. And like within a week and a half, she's a yoga instructor. And she says, I haven't been able to get into poses because of my inflammation and joint issues, like in a couple of years. And now I'm like popping right into it after 2 weeks on this program, because it's just so much more mobility is being created.
Yes.
People with digestive health. I know, Julie, you mentioned that as well, right? When we were talking over the times.
Yeah, and I'm really, really excited because we've got some really amazing stuff coming in the next couple of weeks that's going to support that even more. Yeah. So there'll be more information coming about that. But certainly gut health is super important to your body's ability to use the nutrients that you take in. So there's lots of things that we are like, that makes our program, this system, different than like a keto that you'd see on a cover of a magazine, right?
Yeah, it's absolutely. And then you mentioned endurance athletes, and that's what I've been working on with people for 30 years now, is working with athletes. And my wife is an amazing Ironman triathlete. And when we first met a few years ago, she was one of those typical endurance athletes, hooked on sugars and gels and carbohydrates. And she'd be jamming in about 300 calories. Now, if you're not an endurance athlete, especially an Ironman triathlete, this isn't going to make a lot of sense, but it's so exciting for people who are. I'm just going to take 40 seconds and talk about it. She would be ingesting about 300 calories an hour for an Ironman to get through the race. And every time when the run hit, she would be a mess. Digestively, her stomach would be shutting down. She just couldn't perform through the entire run. We've got her down to 55 calories an hour now. Absolutely hardly any fuel whatsoever going on, zero digestive issues. And the great thing about being fat adapted and utilizing fat for fuel is your heart rate comes down. There's less damage going on in your body because there's less waste byproducts happening. Fat's going to burn a lot cleaner than carbohydrates or glycogen. So she's a lot less achy. She recovers faster. Her immune system is stronger. And she is 15% faster now. And her heart rate's 15% lower. She's running faster now than she ever has in her life. She's so fat adapted. She could actually go out on a 100-mile bike ride and ride at 20 miles an hour on a cleanse day, not eating anything, because she's so adapted to burning fat as a fuel source. So anyways.
So I just want to layer like one quick thing on top of that. So for those of you who are new or that are just not like that well versed in the whole cleanse, like detoxification process, when our body has excess toxins, which we all have, right? As we can eat clean and, do organic and use clean cleaning supplies and all that stuff, we're still over toxic in our current environment. And so when there's an overflow, we have an amazing detoxification system that manages all that. Our liver and our pancreas and our kidneys and our skin, our lungs, like all of that stuff manages the toxins in our body. However, that overflow has to go somewhere. It's not just going to flow freely around the body. So it gets stored in our fat cells. Our fat cells actually do a job of holding those toxins. They encapsulate them to protect us. So when people go on a sort of typical, and I say that with air quotes because I don't know what typical really, but if they go on a typical sort of low carb, high fat diet and they don't address the toxicity piece, and then they start to burn that fat for fuel, you're burning like nasty fat, right? You're burning toxic fat. So imagine like the difference between burning like an oil lamp with like old nasty grease, like with chunks of like stuff in it versus a beautiful new clean oil lamp, right? Like you're going to get like that black smoke coming from the other lamp and you're going to get a clean light, like a clean energy coming from the other lamp. So that's what we're doing with that. And that's how we're doing it differently. We're making sure that by the time you get fat adapted, we are really working on making sure that that fat that you're burning is the best quality that it can be so that your body can function at that bright light level without that black smoke.
Yeah, no, absolutely. And one of the things I want you to think about too is just the ease of use, because there's a lot of things people are dealing with in life right now. They're busy, right? And they're stressed financially. And this system is just food. You're eating every single day anyways. People always ask me, well, how much is it going to cost? I go, to do it or not do it? Because there's always a cost. You could sit back and do nothing. There's still a cost. You're still eating meals every single day and you're still staying stuck where you're at. And if you're going to keep doing the same thing that you've always done, you're going to keep getting the exact same results that you've always gotten. So decide to try something for another month, right? There's a money back guarantee on this thing. If it doesn't work for you, try it for a month, get your money back. I just love how I'm just shifting money around from one source of buying food to another, right? I'm still buying normal food every single day, but I'm just buying less of it and I'm getting better quality food and a better result with the money that I am spending on the program. So anyways, Julie, anything else to add in, and then we'll sort of direct people to where they need to go to get started?
I think the only thing really is that we kick off this round. It's 4 weeks long. We kick it off on January 14th. So it's coming up pretty quick. If this is feeling like it's calling to you, it's time you just need to get back in touch with the person that invited you to come and watch this video so that they can help get you everything that you need to have the best success, because there are some things that you need. So that's all that I would say. And we have the community around this, you guys, it's like nothing I've ever experienced before. It is amazing how everybody, and I see these faces here that I recognize, how everybody just lifts each other up. So that's besides the coaching, because Steve is a coach. And he is a no-nonsense coach. He is not going to let you pretend that you can't do this. But besides the coaching, we have some amazing coaches coming into the group to help out. The community is the bomb, you guys. It's like
so supportive. Yep, so supportive. So anyways, I always like to start right on time. We started right on time and we're 1 minute over. So I'm going to close this down, but I just want to thank everybody for jumping onto the call. And just like Julie said, If you're looking to get started or you're looking for more information, contact the person that sent you to this call. If it was Julie, call her. If it was me, call me. If it was somebody else, contact that person. They know exactly what to do and how to get you set up for success. There are some products that you're going to need to get to make this work in a healthy way, as we mentioned. And by doing that, then you're going to get access into the support group that we've been talking about through this whole program tonight. And we look forward to seeing you down there and helping you get amazing results. So have a great night, everybody. Good luck.
Thanks,
Happy New
everyone.
Year, and we'll look forward to chatting with you soon.
Bye, everyone.
Bye now. Cheers. Bye.